What's up everybody, Aaron Pryor here from Raiden Designs, and I want to show you something really cool in Sketch. I just went and saw that Justice League movie, so it's a little bit inspired to create something for one of the characters, and I chose the Flash. Just happened to be on Pinterest looking around and found this here and thought I'd try to do it in Sketch, and now I want to show you how to do it. If you pull up Pinterest, do a search for UI design and the Flash, you'll see this guy here. Go ahead and save a copy of that for your original. I also did a search for an old wood fence background on Google and just kind of browse through looking for something that I liked and find something. You could use just about any of these if you want. You can get creative. I actually ended up finding what I think is the exact same fence that they used for that design, and I'll show you why I think that in a minute. Let's go ahead and open up Sketch here, get started. New document. All right, I'm going to drag these guys in, so I'll get my original first. Zoom out. All right, I've got this here. Let's rename it first. I'm going to call this original. Let's drag our fence in. That's going to be huge. Let's go ahead and close this off. All right, zoom out. I'm going to bring this right alongside. Let's kind of get zoomed in here. All right, now if I click on my original and look over here at the inspector, I see the width and height. I want to use this same height, 846, for my fence. So I'll select my fence, come over here, set it to 846. All right, now if you notice this kind of big knot here and all the surrounding knots, pretty much the same thing as here, so I'm thinking I got the same exact fence. All right, good stuff. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to draw out a background that's the same size as our original. So I'll hit R on my keyboard to draw out a rectangle. There we go. I want it the same height. Your smart guide should pop up to get you the same height, which is 846. And I think we said the width was 546. There we go. So now I'm going to drag my wood fence right over the top. It's not over the top here, so if that's the case for you, come over to your layers panel, drag it up above that rectangle. Go right over the top here. Now select both in your layers panel. I'm going to hold down Command, get both those guys, click Mask, and now it's constrained to that rectangle in the background. Okay, next up, we want that overlay, that red kind of overlay. So I'm going to draw out another rectangle right over the top of this guy. Probably could have duplicated my other one. And we want this 546 by 846. So make sure that's where I want it. I'm going to choose kind of a reddish color like this guy here. So come over here to my fill in the inspector. Choose something kind of a dark, deep dark red, something like that. Now I'm going to come back over here with my rectangle selected. And actually, let's rename that guy. I'm just going to click, call it overlay dash red, something easy. Hold down Command, I'm going to choose my wood fence. Come over here to the blending mode, and I'm going to choose overlay. Now if you don't like that red, you can go back to your original overlay, that rectangle, and just kind of drag this around to lighten it up, darken it up, get it how you want it. I'm going to go with that there. Alright, so now we want to do a circular cutout for this guy here. Before we do that, I'm going to put in a few smart guides. So if you hover over your rulers here, and if you don't see the rulers, you can hit Command R. That'll toggle them on and off. So I'll put one on the top. I'll do one on the bottom, so I can try to get this roughly the right size. I'm going to hit O for oval. Try to find the center-ish. I'm going to hit Alt Shift, click and drag one out. Looks about good. Might be a little too big. Shrink it down a little. And let's try to get it centered. I'm going to get rid of my smart guides here for just a second. There we go. All right, I'm going to change this fill color to black. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want this black ring right here. So this is going to be my ring. I'm going to hit Command D to get a duplicate of that oval. You'll see over here in the layers panel, now I have my original here. Now I have the one right on top of it. I'm going to change the color of that one to, let's go white. I'm going to hold down Alt-Shift, and as I click and drag in, you'll see the shape underneath it, that kind of black ring, and that's about the thickness that I want. I could go a little bit wider, but I think that's good. Let's make sure both of these are centered. I'm going to choose both of these guys, center horizontally and vertically, and I want to create a cutaway for the fence as well, so I'm going to click my top oval, hit Command D to make a copy of that. And for right now, I'm just going to hide it. Let's choose our original ovals. I'm going to choose Subtract up here from the Boolean operations. And now I've got my ring, so I can see right behind that guy. I'm going to bring back my other oval that was right on top. I'm going to choose my red overlay. So I don't want my combined shape. And now I'm going to choose Subtract. And I can see all the way through. So I've got my black ring, I've got my subtracted portion here, and I'm ready to go. Now you'll notice that this wood is a little bit darker. There is a way to do that, but I'll let you guys try to figure that out. It's a little special challenge just for you. Alright, so now let's get this lightning bolt here. I'm going to hit V for vector, and I'm just going to start placing points. And if you mess up, you can always go back after the fact and fix anything that you messed up. If it doesn't go exactly like you want it, I find that zooming in will often fix that. I'll show you what I mean. Right now, this isn't exactly straight like I want it. This definitely isn't where I want it. I'll be able to fix that afterwards. Let's just get it kind of roughly how it should be right now. I'll click my original point, close it off. Now let's get zoomed in here and let's start kind of manipulating these points to make sure they are where we want them. Alright, so I'm individually clicking these points. I won't get it perfect, but about where they should be. Alright, that one doesn't look too bad. This guy down here, let's move it just a bit. And your smart guys will let you know when you're nice and straight. Alright, that looks good. And once you're done, I'm going to hit enter. I want to fill and I want a border on this. So first, let's choose our fill. I'm going to mess around with the border first. Let's set that to black. I'll move this over here. And I want that same thickness for that border. So with my shape selected, I'm going to bump up the thickness. Let's go to like a 3. Looks pretty good. Let's go over to our fill. We want that yellow. Now a couple different ways you could do this. You can choose it from the slider. Do something like that. You can come up here to this color wheel. And if you don't have that, right click, customize toolbar, and you can add it. Go to the color wheel. Let's choose lemon. Pretty much the same color. Now what I want to do is drop down the opacity so I can see behind. Maybe something like that. Let's go ahead and move this over into ours. Alright, so there we go, but we're not quite done yet because if you look back at our original, you'll see that you don't see that black ring there, and you also come all the way out here and you don't see the color difference from the red. Right now in ours we do. So here's how we're going to fix that. I'm going to create some copies of this guy. I'm going to need 2 copies of my bolt. Let's go ahead and rename this guy to bolt. And hit Command D twice to get 2 copies. I'll turn off my original copy. Now I'm going to need to create a cutaway for that ring there. So the ring is my combined shape, and you can actually, just so you don't get confused, you could rename this to, or just put on the end, ring. I'm going to choose my bolt with both of those selected. And actually, just so we don't get confused, let's turn off our other copy so we just see what we have here. Let's choose subtract. So now we've got a little cutaway here, we've got a little cutaway there, which is exactly what we want. Let's turn back on this other one. We want to create a cutaway for the red areas there too. So now let's go down to our, I believe it's this one here, our combined shape. Let's get this bolt. Let's choose that, come up here to subtract. So now we've got cutaways for that as well. That's exactly what we want. Let's go back to our original bolt here. And now we can go back, select this bolt, drop the opacity down just a little bit more so we can see behind there. And now that is essentially, let's get zoomed in here, let you see up close. Essentially the design duplicated. The only thing I would recommend doing is going in and lightening up this fence here. So you have a kind of the same as here, but it doesn't look too bad. And if you're looking for something a little bit more than that, let's bring back up Chrome here. I thought this one was really cool too. We've got the Captain America one. You've got the same kind of stuff going on and a little bit more challenging. You've got different shapes going on here. So give that a shot if you want to challenge yourself as well. But there you go. If you guys like what you saw, you should come over to udemy.com. I've got a new course I just posted, Hands-on Sketch 4 Masterclass. Learn web and mobile design. Lots of cool stuff like this one. You can learn, it's a full course. You can learn the basics. You'll cover web design, logo design, mobile app design, other fun stuff in there like plugins and things like that. Check it out. Worked really hard on it. You get a ton of content for the price you're going to pay for this. I've also got Hands-on Sketch 3 with lots more content as well. That's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fun stuff in the future. Otherwise, that's all I've got, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.